Are you serious? Are you serious? Well, I'm very serious. And NASA is now confirming that there's at least two newly discovered large asteroids that are coming in our direction. Not to hit us this year, but just now they're letting us know that these two large asteroids are in the Taurid meteor shower that we are experiencing now every late October. But before I tell you more about that, I've got, and Mr. MBB333 did a great report on this. I got some information I want to share with you, first of all. And also, I just posted a Patreon that is white knuckling. I'm white knuckling after I did it. I was so careful with it that I didn't want to alert the authorities out there. But I'm telling you, the global elitist, the global elitist are 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 doing some really evil stuff. And you'll have to go to my Patreon channel, and it's called Watchers Mike from Around the World. Okay. And it's because it came from a discussion that I had with Mike from the world and info that has then been sent to us. Let me first say noblegoldinvestment.com. That's www.noblegoldinvestment.com. Folks, now, if you've been keeping up with the news, or even if you haven't, you might have heard the word tampering being used a lot. And it's the new federal buzzword, and you'll hear all kinds of meanings for it. But what it really means in Washington is they've been tampering with our future, as they have borrowed $30 trillion and they expect us to pay it back. We don't even know where it went or who it was given to, but it wasn't us. Guys, please go to noblegoldinvestment.com. Look at your 401k. Look at your retirement funds, your IRAs. What's going on with it? Your 401k needs to be protected by rolling some of it into a gold or silver IRA. And if you go to noblegoldinvestment.com, look at this: 5 ounces of pure silver coin. It's 5 ounces of pure silver. It's called America the Beautiful Coin. And Colin Plume will give this to you for free as just a gift by helping you protect your future by simply putting some of your gold or silver, putting some of your 401k into a gold or silver IRA. Why don't you, they're a Christian company, family owned. Pick up the phone and call Colin Plume or one of his associates at 877-646-5347. That's 877-646-5347. You'll be glad you did. Tell them Pastor Begley sent you there. All right, now here's what's going on, guys. First of all, let's talk about we got so much to talk about. Let's talk about the meteors before we talk about the Patreon I just did. What? And it's just, and yes, it works. Yes, it works. We did it the way so that it's not a problem. Just punch in the little password. You got to be subscribed. Just subscribe. Go subscribe now to Patreon if you're not a subscriber. Here's what's happening, though, as it relates to this meteor threat to the world. A pair of space scientists, one with the University of Antiquala and the other with the University of Salernito, has found evidence of a swarm of large asteroids hidden in the Taurid complex. They've written a paper describing their findings in a journal, Planetary and Space Science. Every year at the end of October, an event known as the Taurid meteor shower occurs, giving those who venture out into the dark spaces the opportunity to witness a host of shooting stars. Prior research has shown that they are actually debris left behind by Encke's comet. Remember that one, Comet Encke? I covered that years ago when that first was discovered, when the comet was first discovered. And then when it went racing by the Earth, and then it whipped around the sun and blew apart. Well, that debris now passes relatively close to the sun each year. And then in the perihelion, in this new effort, it then whips around and the Earth comes into contact with that debris field. But according to Ferrin and Orofino, they claim they have found evidence of a swarm of large asteroids hiding in the Taurid complex, hiding among the massive debris. They have found a swarm of large asteroids. They further suggest that the asteroid swarm is part of a debris field left behind by a very large, as yet unnamed comet, the one that gave birth to Enki. So, in other words, they're saying there was a massive comet, and that comet, breaking off from that comet, created a new comet called Enki. And then after Enki came close to the Earth, this was about 6-7 years ago, then Enki whipped around the sun in the perihelion, exploded into all kinds of pieces, and those pieces we come in contact with every year, late October. But now we're finding out that in the midst of that debris field of pieces, there's some large ones. And while studying the Taurid complex, the researchers found 2 asteroids in particular that have not been seen before. The measurements of these 2 huge asteroids are around 200 and the other one 300 meters across, respectively. So these are quite large, which is too large to be simple debris from Enki's comet that got them to wondering if there might be another large asteroid hiding in the complex as well. And to find out, they've scanned and published papers on the Taurid complex and found mention of a total of 88 asteroids that appear to be too large to be part of Enki's debris. So let's take a step back. There's at least 2 very large asteroids that are kind of hidden in the Enki debris. Every year, we get deeper into Enki's debris. So as that debris goes by, we get further and further into the cluster. And at some point, we're going to get deeper into it where we're going to come very dangerously situation develops with these 2 asteroids. But there is as many as 88 large asteroids in all, a swarm of large asteroids in all. I believe what the NASA scientists and researchers are saying is what Mike from around the world has been saying, that we're entering into what's called a galactical plane, where we're entering into more and more cinders and meteors and asteroids that are going to intensify greater and greater. They're being shaken by Planet X, Nibiru, as the Bible says that the heavens will be shaken. And that's affecting the wobble of the Earth, the wobble of the moon, the wobble of Mars, and actually, in a very complex way, it's creating some serious manifestations on the sun itself, which then affects the whole solar system in general. But if you look at what's going on, this thing is getting closer. So this Taurid meteor shower we've now discovered 2 large asteroids in there. One is 300 meters, the other one's 200 meters. And now we are finding out that, there's another cluster out there of about 88 asteroids, quite large. So we're entering into it. So when Mike says to me, Pastor Paul, and he has to be careful how he says it, but now we're getting this soft disclosure now starting to come from other scientists and observatories in the world. Mike says, Paul, we're entering into this cloud, 2 huge clouds of meteors, and it's 2 million miles wide and several years deep of asteroids, and they're innumerable. They're innumerable. In other words, they're impossible to number them. There's large ones, there's little ones, there's mid-sized ones, but there's multiple, innumerable threat to the Earth. And if you study the Revelation, the Bible, you know that in Revelation 8, we're going to have a deep impact, and you know you're going to have 2 deep impacts, and you know one is called the star or wormwood, and it kills many men, die from this encounter. These 2 different deep impacts. Now, having said all of that, let's talk about what we just posted at Patreon. And I wish I could have posted it here, but I went and put it at Patreon. So if you're not a member of Patreon, you need to go right now and become a member of our Patreon channel. This video is eye-opening. It's from an individual that has, I can't say, a firsthand account, at least, of what's really going on, okay, when it comes to the elitist and the methods that they're using to affect their goal and affect people. And that's all I can say. Go to Patreon right now. Go to Patreon. Thank you. Beautiful story. Just posted Patreon. Go there right now. If you haven't, if you're not a subscriber, become a subscriber. You can give $5 a month. You can pledge $5 a month, $10 a month, $7 a month, you know, $20 a month. It's up to you, you know, $3 a month. You decide. But whatever it is you want to give, you're pledging, where we're giving you, that's the channel we give you some deep inside information that we can't share here. This is very interesting because Mike from the World was my guest back in July 21st of this summer, and we had a discussion that Mike was vague about, but he opened up a door, and one of the individuals listening, it triggered it did more than trigger it. This individual said, I have to share with you what's really happening because I know. So check it out. It's at patreon.com. Guys, I gotta go. I gotta catch a plane. Hopefully we have no problems traveling in the air today. I got to get to Indiana, and then I'll be back with you some more information. I might do some videos while in the airport. So I don't know. I'll let you know. Thank you. Nate says just use $5 a month. It is good info here. And thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you. Susan, you remember that. Okay. You remember that so Susan says, I remember that broadcast. So she knows there was some great info in that broadcast. Check this out, guys. And we, just for the individual who sent that info to us, don't worry. We shredded everything of your information. God bless. I couldn't share it all. I only share what I could. Protect the identities. Give your life to Jesus Christ. It's almost over. Are you saved?